I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to talk about, if you watched my video yesterday, we spoke about the gut, the health of your gut and how it's connected with every possible, medical issue, skin issue, hair issue, autoimmune condition. And yesterday we spoke about harnessing the human body's intelligence through smart fasting to do most of the work that it can naturally do. Today we're going to talk about nutrients and the impact of your sleep deprivation or your poor quality sleep on your gut. Most people think about prebiotics and probiotics, and they are fabulous. They're excellent when used the right way at the right time. We look at prebiotics, we look at probiotics in the supplement form or through your natural foods. Fermented foods are very, very powerful foods for your gut. But again, everything I speak about, everyone's different. Remember that. Some people cannot tolerate fermented food. In fact, it makes them feel more bloated. This actually speaks volumes about how poor their gut health is. Now, this is especially if there was a point in your life where you could consume fermented and now you cannot. I can understand if all through your life fermented food doesn't suit you, then it's completely different. Everyone's different. Remember bio-individuality. Prebiotics, okay? Simple, raw onion, apple, vegetables that we have before our meals so we can have it in our form of our salads, garlic, all of these are prebiotics. Probiotics in your natural form would be your fermented foods, your cultured yogurts, of course without the hormones and without all of the antibiotics in. If you're vegan, you have all your sokras, your kimchis, your nattos, all of the fermented foods. These are powerful for you and you should be consuming it every single day if it suits you. Now, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on buying these products, you can even make them at home. There are simple recipes how to make sokra, how to make fermented vegetables. In fact, you could take your favorite vegetables like sticks of carrot, sticks of radish, and you can ferment them at home and have your own powerful probiotic. Kefir, another super powerful probiotic. Everyone's different. Now, if you're a patient of colitis, you're a patient of Crohn's, too much fiber can create disaster. Too little fiber can also create disaster, which is why it is so important for you to understand how to introduce soluble and insoluble fiber at the right time. There are a lot of extreme groups that are now talking about the human body not requiring any amount of fiber, and that's mainly in the carnivore groups, and they're absolutely correct. If you're purely carnivore and you're eating a couple of vegetables, you're absolutely fine. But what about if you're vegetarian? What about if you're vegan? What about if you don't eat meat? Fiber is extremely important. Insoluble, soluble. The right quantity, the right time. A lot of people overfeed themselves with fiber and fiber supplements and they have more problems. And some people have the lack of fiber. This is extremely important for you. When it comes to vitamins and minerals, omega-3 plays a huge role in the repair of your gut. Over and above soluble, insoluble fiber, and over and above your prebiotics and your probiotics. When it comes to supplementation, the market is full of cheap probiotics and good probiotics. You also have symbiotics, which is a combination of a pre and a pro, and technically it should be that way because a probiotic is useless without a prebiotic, which is why the way you eat your meals is also extremely important. What goes into your system first, what goes into your system last. You start with your raws, you start with your cooked vegetables, your proteins, your fats, and then you reach the carbohydrates. That is called the UK lifestyle flow of eating. If you don't know about it, watch our video that we've done on that. Omega-6 and omega-9. The human body needs very little of it. But today, most people have an excess of omega-6 because of refined oils, because of seed oils, and because of eating too much of outside food and junk food. When I have too much of omega-6, I mess up my gut health. Omega-3 is extremely important, and that's why for very specific patients, we will use supplemental omega-3. Vegetarian or non-vegetarian, for their overall gut, their immune system, inflammation, Alzheimer's, cancers, whatever it is. And some people who have the ability to source foods that are rich in omega-3 naturally, they don't need supplements. But that's very difficult to find today. It's very difficult to get wild-caught fish. It's very, very difficult to get grass-fed meats, organic, cage-free, pasture-fed eggs. Very, very difficult. And that's why supplements sometimes, good quality supplements taken the right way, are extremely important for us. Another nutrient that it's not even a nutrient, an empty calorie, an empty food that destroys gut health is sugar. We need to understand that junk food and white sugar will feed the bad bacteria in your gut. And that's why one of the ways to kill that excess bad bacteria is by fasting, or by just stopping to eat junk food and sugar for a while. Automatically, that bad bacteria that feeds on it, you've taken away the source and it starts to die. So that's why fasting or elimination of these particular foods is extremely important. Your high fructose corn syrup found in so many of your packaged foods is disastrous to the gut, period. It is disastrous to the gut. Especially if you're sick, you're on antibiotics and you're eating these foods, you're unable to use your gut to actually bring about recovery and healing for you. Now, many people could be lactose intolerant and many people could be gluten intolerant. The important point is, if you're confused, do the test. Go to your doctor and say, prescribe a test for me to see if I'm celiac or to see if I'm lactose intolerant. And if the test comes back positive, you know what you need to avoid. But most people get off these foods and create more stress in their life. I can understand you've gotten off lactose, gluten, and you're feeling better, everything's better, great. But you don't have to just do it if it's not making sense to you. Sometimes the easiest way is get a test and you know right up front if you're celiac, you know right up front if you're lactose intolerant, and it'll also help you to understand your allergies that you get way more clearer when you have these tests done for you. Now that we've understood about nutrients, making your plate like a rainbow, having different colors, this is biodiversity. If you've ever noticed, if you go to a new country and you eat local, you'll have lesser problems than if you try to maintain your same current diet of your native state. And that's why people, when they move and they live in new countries, it's important for them to adapt to some amount of the local cuisine, the local fruits, the local vegetables, the local nuts, the local seeds. It plays a huge role with your gut. Your gut microbiome is constantly adapting to the weather, to the air that you're breathing, to nature, to everything. It is that intelligent and that powerful. Today we know through science that your gut bacteria also has microbes that memorize literally every antibiotic that you've been on, every medication that's gone into your body, every banned substance that has also gone into your body. The point is, it's intelligent. We push it too hard, it's going to create a problem. Today, a huge problem is abdominal belly fat, obesity, and hormonal issues that come along with obesity. And there's a direct connection with the health of your gut. Something called SIBO, S-I-B-O, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. A lot of people, we've noticed, a lot of men, women, young girls, boys come to us with obesity, struggling to lose body fat, even though they're eating right and exercising. And we get straight into their gut. They have something called SIBO, based on the symptoms of bloating, constipation, loose motions, acidity, brain fog. And as you start to clean up the gut and you get rid of the SIBO by correcting the bacterial overgrowth factors, what happens? They start to burn fat. They start to lose weight because, like I said yesterday, everything is connected with the health of your gut. So obesity is not just about a weight loss plan and more exercise. It's way beyond that. It's about a gut protocol with your fat burn plan, with your lifestyle changes, which brings us to sleep. You could be having prebiotics, probiotics, you could be fasting, but if you are sleep deprived, you are going to have poor gut health. Today, medical science shows us the correlation between sleep and it shows us the correlation between your gut health. Even one night of sleep deprivation can cause a dysregulation in your gut microbiome. And that's why I understand we live in a world today where it's difficult. We want entertainment, we want to sleep late, but we need to understand if we also want great health and we want to correct our problems, sleep is non-negotiable. At least try to get 5 out of 7 days right in a week, and it'll make a tremendous impact on your health. And with proper planning, all of us can easily get an extra 30 minutes or an hour if we are currently sleep deprived. So it's all these little things. You see, the world today is trained to look for complexity and expensive solutions and all of that stuff. And believe me, healthcare will become more and more expensive if we don't do the fundamentals and basics. The point is, get the fundamentals right. Gut health is easy. It is very simple to sort out. I think 1 in 2 of our patients every day have an issue with their gut. And when we solve out their gut problems, that's our success. With the grace of God, with the guidance of God and the work that we do, we know they're healing. It's as simple as that. So the point is, we spoke about fasting yesterday. Today we spoke about nutrients, the supplements required if you're doing it in a supplemental form, and the importance of stress. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about something very interesting when it comes to your gut health. It's called the biofield. It's not complex. When you understand it, it's a beautiful thing. So see you tomorrow. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you can. It's all about you.